You're in a corner. Suddenly there's an oncoming car on your side of the road, and you've got a split second to react. How do you avoid a head-on crash? In 2 minutes, let me show you how.
I'm Mark McVeigh. I've been riding safely on the road and racing on track for 35 years. After working as a MotoGP engineer, I founded the Riders Academy in Australia. Today I run the motoDNA Digital Academy, online and data driven, teaching riders all over the world.
So how did I avoid a head-on? Well, I reacted quickly. I was off the throttle and on the brakes. I swerved and looked for my escape route, pretty much all at the same time. But how I really avoided the head-on was with a riding system. It's called the 3 pillars of skill, craft, and mind. The definition of skill is your ability to control your motorcycle, and I've got decent bike skills. I still race motorcycles at 55 years old. I run a motorcycle school and regularly practice the correct hazard avoidance techniques. My off-road game's not as strong. I regularly ride enduro and I've clocked over 50,000 Ks around Australia on adventure bikes. The next thing to talk about is vision. Looking at the furthest point or the vanishing point to spot the hazard. This helped me see the car as quickly as possible. See and be seen. Understanding target fixation is a critical skill. Use your mind focus to look where you want to go. In this case, it was my escape route. And then use your peripheral to watch the car. The next thing to talk about is craft or roadcraft. And this is riding defensively, covering the brakes, and having an appropriate speed so you can stop in the distance you can see for your skill level. About the escape route, you don't want to leave the road. Normally there's room. In this case, it's dirt and there was plenty of room. So I used it to give me more space away from the car. If we talk about position next, my position was not ideal. I should have been more to the left to see the car earlier, see and be seen. But I'll talk about this more in a minute. The third thing to talk about is mind. What's your attitude? And if you ride a bike, you'd better be ready. Even if it's the car's fault, we will always come off worse. Always assume the car's out to get you. Then you won't be surprised when it happens. The other thing to consider is a growth mindset. It takes 10,000 hours to master any skill. We're always learning. So reflecting on uncomfortable moments or any close calls is important. What would I do differently next time? Well, let's go back to why my position was poor. When I thought about it, about a minute earlier, I was stuck behind a car and it was covering me in dust. And I felt the car should have let me past earlier. On reflection, I think I was still annoyed about this and it actually distracted me. So I learned something that will improve my riding next time. So in summary, in an emergency, you will default to the level of your training and you won't learn how to ride in a 2-minute video or on social media. There is no miracle, just do the work. Regularly practicing the correct techniques. So go to a good school or head to motordna.com to learn more.